Hello everyone. Today's our topic is circle of Willis. So what is circle of Willis? Actually the arteries which supplying to the brain, they form a circle that is to be called as circle of Willis. So circle of Willis, it is synonym, it is also called as circulus arteriosus. The other name for circle of Willis is circulus arteriosus. This circulus arteriosus or the circle of Willis, it is the Willis name due to the Dr. Thomas Willis. Dr. Thomas Willis. This Dr. Thomas Willis was an English physician and who is known for the history of anatomy. Dr. Thomas Willis. On his name, this arterial circle is given name as a circle of Willis. So circle of Willis also called as circulus arteriosus. Introduction. Now what is this circle of Willis? I told you some of the arteries which supplying the brain from an arterial circle. Means brain is supplied by some arteries from a arterial circle, that is to be called as circle of Willis. Now we will see where it is located, where the circle of Willis is located. This circle of Willis is located on the base of the brain. It is located at the base of the brain. In the base of the brain, where? Around the optic chiasma. As we had seen, the optic chiasma lies in the floor of the third ventricle. As we had seen in the previous video, third ventricle, you can able to go over there. In the description is given in the description box, and you can able to go and see what is the optic chiasma, and it lies within the subarachnoid space. So this location of the circle of Willis is located on the base of the brain around the optic chiasma within the subarachnoid space. As we had seen, subarachnoid space, the subarachnoid space is full of CSF, cerebrospinal fluid. So subarachnoid space that is full of CSF, and we are having a special video for CSF. तो आप जाके डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में जाके लिंक में जाकर देख सकते हो कि व्हाट इज सीएसएफ एंड व्हाट इज अबाउट द subarachnoid space. तो सिर्फ subarachnoid space जो है वो कहाँ रहता है? It lies in between the, as I had told you, there is a pad. The meninges, the covering of the brain is called as meninges, and meninges from inner to outer, they are pia mater, then arachnoid mater, and then dura mater. So most inner layer is pia mater. So space in between pia mater and the arachnoid mater is called as subarachnoid space. So in this subarachnoid space, the CSF is full with this space, and also the circle of Willis is located at here. Now we will see the formation of circle of Willis. How the circle of Willis is formed. So circle of Willis, the anterior part. So this is the anterior part of the circle of Willis. This is the A anterior part, and this is the P posterior part, and this is the on either side or on each side. So this anterior part of the circle of Willis, it is formed by the right and left anterior cerebral artery. See, this is the anterior cerebral artery. These are both anterior cerebral artery, right and left anterior cerebral artery. So the anterior part is formed by the right and left cerebral artery and the anterior communicating artery. See, the artery which are communicating to both cerebral artery, that is to be called as the anterior communicating artery. So the anterior part of the circle of Willis is formed by the right and left anterior cerebral artery and the anterior communicating artery. And on each side now, on either side, on each side the internal carotid artery and its posterior communicating branch. See, this is the internal carotid artery. On each side it is formed by the internal carotid artery. These are the two internal carotid arteries, right and left, which arise from the common carotid artery in the carotid triangle of neck. So this internal carotid artery, before its termination into the anterior cerebral artery and the middle cerebral artery, it gives a branch that is to be called as the posterior communicating artery. So on its side it is to be formed by the internal carotid artery and its posterior communicating branch. So this is the posterior communicating branch of the internal carotid artery. And on the posterior aspect, or the posterior part of the circle of Willis. The posterior part of the circle of Willis is formed by the bifurcation of the basilar artery. See, this is the basilar artery. This one is the basilar artery. So the basilar artery gets bifurcated into two: the posterior cerebral artery, right and left posterior cerebral artery. So we had seen the anterior cerebral artery, here the middle cerebral artery, and here the posterior cerebral artery. This anterior and the middle cerebral artery, they are the terminal branches of internal carotid artery, while as the posterior cerebral artery is a branch of the basilar artery. So posterior part is formed by the bifurcation of this basilar artery into right and left posterior cerebral arteries. So posterior cerebral artery, they form by the bifurcation of this basilar artery. Now the question comes, how this basilar artery comes? This basilar artery, it comes from the it is formed by the joining of two vertebral arteries. The two vertebral arteries which run through the foramina transversorium of the cervical vertebra. The cervical vertebra have a foramina. The specialty of the cervical vertebra, it is having a foramina, and that is to be called as foramina transversorium. Through this foramina, the vertebral artery passes, and the vertebral artery, which is actually the branch of subclavian artery or subclavian system. So from the subclavian system, the vertebral artery comes and that run into the foramina transversorium, and both unite to form the basilar artery. This system is also called as vertebro-basilar system or posterior system because it lies behind. And in the neck, we had seen that there is an internal carotid artery, the internal carotid artery and the external carotid artery. The common carotid artery divides into the neck into internal carotid artery and the external. So internal carotid artery, it enters in the brain through the foramina lacerum. So through the foramina lacerum, it enters in the brain and it gives some branches. So the terminal branches are the anterior cerebral artery and the middle cerebral artery. So internal carotid artery divides terminally into the anterior and the middle cerebral artery. Before its termination, it gives the posterior communicating artery. So the circle of Willis, it is anteriorly formed by the two right and left anterior cerebral artery with the anterior communicating artery. On each side, it is formed by the internal carotid artery, right and left internal carotid artery, and its posterior communicating artery. That is the right and left posterior communicating artery. And on the posterior part, it is formed by the bifurcation of this basilar artery. That is the posterior cerebral artery, right and left posterior cerebral artery. Now we will see the importance. What is the importance of this circle of Willis? As we had seen, this circle of Willis, it is nothing but the arterial supply of the brain. So what is the important? As we had seen the formation as many artery anastomosing between major artery supplying the brain. As this arterial circle is nothing but the anastomosis between the major artery which is supplying to brain. So due to this, if suppose one artery is blocked, so one artery will supply to that, another artery will supply to that area which is to be affected by blockage of one artery. So it will overcome the blockage of one artery. If suppose one artery is blocked, then the area supplied by that artery will be overcome by the another artery due to this anastomosis. So this is a very important thing which is to be noted for the circle of Willis. The anastomosis is very important. Now we will see the clinical importance or clinical anatomy. What type of the patient we are seeing in the disease of the circle of Willis. Now this occlusion or blockage of due to the thrombosis, the main cause of the occlusion of the artery supply to the brain. The main cause of occlusion to the artery supply to the brain is due to thrombosis or embolism. Suppose there is a blockage of any artery due to thrombosis or embolism taken place. So the another artery will take the place of that blocked artery. So the blood supply to the brain will be not hampered. So to overcome the blood supply, this anastomosis will help. So this is one of the most important applied part. Now another applied part is Berry's aneurysm. What happens in case of when the diastolic blood pressure is raised and it is continuous, means continuous raising of the diastolic blood pressure, that will causes the Berry's aneurysm, means dilatation of the vessels of this circle of Willis, and the dilatation is like that of Berry. Berry, it is a small fruit, so it is berry size. That's why it is called as Berry's aneurysm. Berry's aneurysm. It is due to the dilatation of the arteries of the circle of Willis due to the continuous increase of diastolic blood pressure. And these Berry's aneurysm, they are very tend to rupture and bleed. So the hemorrhage, the important cause of hemorrhage is the Berry's aneurysm. This is also a very important applied topic. Now the last one, that is CVA, cerebrovascular accident. This cerebrovascular accident, it is very common in old age. It is very common in old age, and it may be due to the thrombosis, embolism or hemorrhage. Anyone can cause this CVA, thrombosis, embolism and the hemorrhage, anyone cause CVA, and it is most common in the old age. In India, about 1 million cases found in the every year. It is very common disease in old age, and about 1 million cases found in India every year. So this is all about the circle of Willis. Thank you.